celebrating 30 years of phenomenal trend forecasting. Here's Gerald Celente with today's trends in the news.
Hi, this is Gerald Celente. It's Friday, March 13th, Friday the 13th, 2020. And here are some of today's trends in the news. On the market front over there in Asia, it was down. But it's up in Europe and in America. Happy days are here again. Gold, fa-boom. Oil, beep. And silver, down. And Bitcoin, whoof, down in that $5,000 range. What happened? Stocks soared Friday as Wall Street rebounded from sharp losses suffered in the previous session. In the previous session, the Dow posted its worst day since 1987. But now it bounced back because equities rallied to their session highs into the close on Friday after President Donald Trump said 50,000 new coronavirus tests will be available next week. And they're going to pump money into the economy. So the Dow popped back up on the hope of pumping more money in. And that's what's doing it. Simple as that. Fed to pump in more than $1 trillion in dramatic ramping up of market intervention amid coronavirus meltdown. The Federal Reserve stepped into financial markets Thursday for the second day in a row and the third time this week. Stepped into the markets. Isn't that nice, huh? Yeah, that Bernie Sanders, he's a socialist, I tells you. But it's okay, and I'm not saying I like the cat or agree with him, but the hypocrisy. It's okay to bail out the biggest gamblers in the world. Those hedge funds, gotta give them money, $1.5 trillion. And as I was reminded, that's what the student debt is in the United States. But $1.5 trillion to boost the equity markets up so the gamblers could keep making their dough. Yeah, corporatism, capitalism, shove it, it's gone. So, there's already pumped in, of course, $17 trillion into the repo markets. And again, a lot more in your Trends Journal. The details are all there. And again, new Trends Journal coming out on Tuesday, the weekly magazine, nothing like it anywhere in the world. And the only magazine that's giving you the truth in trends. Investors cash out of gold. The reason they're cashing out in gold, the markets are going way down, and they got all these margin calls. So they got to sell out everything. And that's what's going on. This is a meltdown like I've never seen in my life, and I'll tell you why it's different than any other time. It's hitting Wall Street and Main Street at the same time. You have these government imbeciles destroying the global economy, closing down concert halls. I'm the mayor, I'm the governor. Hey, the governor of New York, he just said, I don't want to see more than 500 people gathered in one place. The little jerk off there in New York City, de Blasio, another boy of nothing, a useless piece of bullshit. Yes, close down Madison Square Garden, no more museums, close down that Carnegie Hall. No, nothing. I'm the mayor. I'll tell you what to do. And the people obey. They obey everywhere. Look at Italy, obeying that guy Conte. Yeah, take out that O and stick in a U. Prime Minister of nothing. Closing down the entire place. Italy is filled with small businesses and they're going under. Oh, almost 700,000 people died, or 800 people, mostly elderly people. Italy has the biggest elderly population in Europe, and most of them are chronically ill. Hey, forget them Syrians, those Yemenis, and all them other peoples that are dying. They don't count for anything, Celente. Ebola crisis, who cares? Who cares? That's what's going on. And I thought about it. Just as they are selling this war hysteria, and the people buy it just like the Italians saluted Mussolini, they're doing it again. They're following their leaders. Just like they did in following Hitler, the people are following their leaders. Oh, the government says to do it. 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 And they're all doing it. All following the orders of these little low-life government imbeciles. So, oil. What happened with oil? The reason oil prices went up today because in part of Trump's plan, you ready? Based on the price of oil, I've instructed the Secretary of Energy to purchase at a very good price large quantities of crude oil for storage in U.S. strategic reserves. We're going to fill it up right to the top, saving the American taxpayer billions and billions of dollars and helping our oil industry and furthering that wonderful goal. Helping our oil industry. Yes, Mr. Exxon, how about you, Mr. Chevron, huh? One after another. Now, it's not helping the people. We got to pay more for oil now because they're pushing the oil prices up artificially. Corporatism. Hey, it's okay to help the big guys, Salenti. You're just a little nothing like the rest of the people of Slavelandia. So you be a good boy. Trump declares national emergency, right? $50 billion in financial resources to unleash the full power of the federal government. I am officially declaring a national emergency. Two very big words. The next 8 weeks are critical, the president said. Oh, 8 weeks. We got it down to 8 weeks. We know. And one of the things they're not allowing to do is you can't go visit anybody in a nursing home. And I have my dear sister Grace in a nursing home that I try to go visit every couple of weeks. She's about 2 hours away from me. Now I can't go see her. I cook for her, make macaroni, peppers and egg sandwiches. Makes her so happy to see me. I'm the only one in her life. And now I can't go because some lowlife, some low life called your governor, your mayor, your president, your congressman, and your Heil Hitler tells you what to do. So, they're going to put a meeting together with all the G7 brilliant leaders to figure out what to do. And this is from that little catzon Macron over there in France. We will coordinate research efforts on a vaccine and treatments and work out an economic and financial response. And we're so great at doing it. Everything we do is perfect. And we're going to fix it for you. And everybody's marching in order. Everybody's following their leader. Salenti, get in line. How dare you don't believe the slime? Oh, United States. 40 deaths. 40 deaths. Most of them from a nursing home in Washington. 40 deaths in a country of 327 million. Budget deficit grew 15% the first 5 months. Got it? Things going down already, right? Big debt's building up. That debt bubble's just going to keep getting bigger, getting bigger. So, as this thing is going down, the Greatest Depression has begun. I said it wasn't going to happen until 2021 unless there was a black swan event, and we got Rosie, Queen of Corona. Whew! Here she is. That's the black swan. Again, Main Street's going down with Wall Street. Businesses are ruined. No concerts. No big gatherings. The events that I was going to, the Italian-American event on Tuesday night, canceled. The YMCA fundraiser tomorrow night, canceled. Closed down the schools over here in Ulster County. Hey, I know what to do. I'm the Ulster County executive. We're going to close them for 2 weeks. 2 weeks is the perfect time. I got all the numbers right there. It says 2 weeks. Yay. For the freaks who believe the 2 weeks. So all this debt, the 4 largest U.S. banks have $65.5 billion in exposure to U.S. oil and gas companies. Oh, and what did Trump just do? You got it. So it's not only about the oil companies, it's bailing out the banksters. Yep. Oh, mergers and acquisitions, they're down 28% from 2019. This thing is going down big. These are only temporary measures that are being taken. Again, because they're bringing down the global economy. Threats to spending raise prospects of final curtain for corporate borrowers. $13.5 trillion. Again, more details in your Trends Journal. We're just going through the highlights here. Congress squabbles over ways to protect U.S. from downturn. Mitch McConnell, the Republican Senate Majority Leader, accused Democrats of Congress of proposing an ideological wish list, blah, 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 blah. Who would believe these stupid, ignorant morons would know what to do? Show me one success, show me, email me, tell me. Hey, and they're fighting who is the bigger loser and whose programs are going to fail better. Boeing stocks tumble after embattled plane maker reaches $13.8 billion loan limit. Outbreak piles more pain on Australia's fire-hit tourist sector. International traffic fell 16.8% in February. And this is in Australia. And by a quarter during the first 9 days in March at Sydney Airport. International visitors to Australia fell 72%. Asia's sales collapse takes heavy toll on Adidas. I'm only mentioning this because markets are collapsing, but so too is Main Street. The businesses are collapsing. So it's not the overvalued markets that are going down only. It's the businesses that are going down at the same time. So what kind of earnings are they going to be bringing in the next quarter and the quarter after that? Now remember all the people that have been put out of work. The people in airlines, the people in tourism, the people in restaurants, the people in concerts, on and on and on. Where are they going to get money? How are they going to pay their debt? How are they going to go out? The Greatest Depression has begun. Low rates won't fix housing market strains. More Americans are renting homes and apartments rather than buying. On and on and on. The data is in the Trends Journal. Even these very low interest rates are not going to boost the markets. There's going to be a real estate crash in the places where the values of the real estate market spike the highest. In your Vancouver, take a trip to Toronto. How about Silicon Valley? Yeah, the places that went up in Boston, you got it. And around the world, Berlin, you name it, the places that grew the hottest are going to go down the biggest. Britain unveils stimulus measure. Yeah, I wonder if anybody's getting stimulated by it. This is empty stuff, makes good headlines, will do nothing to change the direction. Global investors dumped $42 billion of emerging market stocks. That was double the amount of outflows in the same 51-day period after September 8th, 2008, the panic of 2008. Coronavirus update. Schools closing for 3 weeks. Gatherings of 100 or more people are banned in Ohio. Okay? 3 weeks. Hey, wait a minute. The guy over here in Ulster County is only covering him for 2 weeks. Well, I'm saying 3 weeks. All right. Hey. Oh, wait a minute. You said 100 people. Cuomo said 500 people. Oh, no, it's only 100 people. I know only 100 people. They're making this stuff up. This is why I'm going through the numbers. They're making it up. And people are marching in order. Heil Hitler, Mussolini, you little weenies that can't think for yourself. Travel gatherings are curbed. Major League Baseball and the National Hockey League join the National Basketball Association in suspending play indefinitely. College basketball's March Madness Championship tournament was canceled. Isn't that great? And going on to some other news, just a little break in here. When all else fails, they take you to war. Rockets killed 2 Americans in Iraq. 2 Americans were on vacation, and all of a sudden a rocket killed. Oh, no, these were troops, and there was a British guy there, too. Yeah, illegally in a country that the United States invaded based on lies by the lowlives, the Bushes, the penis Cheneys, because I can't say dick. I don't want to get blackballed on YouTube or anywhere. Oh, I can't say blackballed. I have to say whiteballed or no balls, because that's what it is. No balls. 2 Americans killed. Troop desks risk reigniting U.S.-Iran tensions. That's right. The UK Mr. Rob, who's from the UK, agreed that those responsible must be held accountable. And Trump's brother over there, that other comb-over cat with that fake blonde hair, Boris Johnson, the UK Prime Minister, is at the FU, you-know-what, K. Yeah, he said that he described the rocket attacks as deplorable. Hey, what are you doing over there? You're in a foreign country, killing people. And we want their oil. It ain't about the people. U.S. strikes Iran-backed militia in Iraq. Okay, U.S. began conducting airstrikes against the Iranian-backed militia. Iranian-backed militia. Not that these are Iraqi people that are fighting the American occupiers. No, they're backed by Iran, man. If they weren't backed by Iran, they wouldn't want to be shooting and killing us for going into their country and killing over 1 million people and destroying a place. These are militants. Rather than calling Americans murderous occupiers of Iraq on a war based on lies, they keep giving you the Iran trip. When all else fails, they take you to war, and this economy is going to fail. India imposes visa ban for travelers to halt spread of disease till April 15th. So everybody got the dates down perfectly. Classes at New York public colleges go online. I'm mentioning this because online is the future. It's in my book, Trends 2000. This is going to change a lot. Not that you can do everything online, but going to school is a waste of time. In so many ways, it's an antiquated system. And this is the new world. And this is going to make a big change in that. More and more people, as they continue to freak out, are going to be doing more and more schooling from home. This is a big trend, and it's something to really consider getting more and more into and learning about. It's going to be one of the biggest on-trendpreneur opportunities of a lifetime. Containment zone draws criticism. Oh, yeah, that little Cuomo over here, our governor, decided I'm going to give myself the emergency powers and do what I want, sent the National Guard into New Rochelle. Talked about that, right? Well, here's what the people feel about it. It's a political farce, said Mark McCarthy, a 66-year-old retiree. I think it's so the governor can demonstrate some action, but I'm not sure how meaningful it is. Some residents say Cuomo's plan to halt the virus has been blown out of proportion. Yeah, because he's a blowjob out of proportion kind of guy. Oh, 400 cases, or 427 cases in New York. How many people died? 427 cases in New York. How many people died? There's 427 cases in New York. How many people died? None. New law by de Blasio and Cuomo. Oh, you could open up your restaurants, but you got to sit 6 feet apart or whatever, yeah. All right? They're making this crap up. Coughed into the, don't catch it. And people are staying away from each other. Bern in Madrid warned end unlikely to be in sight for months. European governments have warned it could take months for the coronavirus outbreak to end, forecasting the number of cases is set to continue growing. Hey, wait a minute, a couple of months, April 13th, 2 weeks, who knows what? We know. Angela Merkel said 70% of the German people are going to get it. She said it, you're going to get it. Central Seattle turns into a ghost town. One business after another collapsing. You got it? The Greatest Depression has begun. Entire country of Norway shut down. You know how many people died in Norway? Could you count to 0? Tri-state officials curb public gathering. I told you what Cuomo did with 500 people. Well, over there in Jersey, New Jersey, Phil Murphy recommended the cancellation of all public gatherings of 250 people. Hey, 250, 500, 100, you got it. You got jerk-offs telling you what to do, and don't forget to march in order. Healthcare scares disrupts play for top clubs. Industry relying on fans is forced to deal with financial impact of quarantines. In U.S., threat upends daily life. Home sales face uncertainty. I talked about that again. Will coronavirus light fuse on unexploded bomb of corporate debt? Again, I'm mentioning that over and over again. Networks take loss as sports halt. Restaurants across U.S. struggling amid crisis. Restaurants across the world are struggling. This is the toilet paper record. Mobile World Congress, South by Southwest, Metropolitan Museum of Art, Houston Rodeo, Disneyland, London Book Fair, Cherry Blossom Festival, and all those St. Patrick's Day festivals. On and on, the list of things that have been canceled. This is never, ever, ever, ever happened in our lifetime, except in a time of war. And they're giving the people the war spirit to follow their leaders. Heil Hitler! Love Mussolini, you got that, Conti. People following and behaving. Battered airlines put out Mayday signal. Washington State Governor Jay Inslee closing all K-12 schools across the state for 6 weeks due to coronavirus pandemic. 40 people died in the United States according to the pandemic. Oh, wait a minute. He's only closing for 6 weeks. 3 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks. You got it. Freaks and fools are in charge, destroying the global economy and life on Earth in so many different ways because fear is the big factor. Remember the cover of your Trends Journal 2 weeks ago. Coronavirus 9/11. Spreading terror. This is Gerald Celente, and that's some of today's trends in the news.